across all competitions last year and has 6 already in Serie A this season despite missing 4 matches. He would be up there with Lautaro Martinez if not for his injury. This is a battle of 2 of the very best, not just in Serie A, but in the entire world. Not far away from kickoff here at the Maradona, a place where these Napoli supporters had so much joy a season ago. Rudy Garcia could not provide them that, and he paid for that with his job. Walter Mazzarri will try and turn things around. As we are underway, Napoli playing host to Inter. And it is Inter who enter the day second in Serie A. They've been so dominant, they've been so good. They've lost 1 game in all competitions this entire season. 10 wins, the 2 draws, including the draw last time out against Juventus. In a game that finished at a low ebb. Simone Inzaghi and Jan Sommer both admitting that really both sides didn't just want to make any mistakes in that last 45 minutes. Settle for the point. And now the race for the Scudetto will be fought on the terms of these sorts of matches. And it is all the way back to Sommer as Inter do wear their orange chain strip today. Dumfries did get ahead to it, but it already sailed out of play, and now for a throw.
And Napoli's the side with the highest possession in the league at around 58%. And Inter can play that game too, where they sit back and hit out on the counter. They are absolutely lethal when they are playing direct football.
Giovanni Di Lorenzo. Napolitano, Di Lorenzo will get forward plenty, the captain. Down that right side, he's already at 4 Serie A assists. Here is Nathan. One of a few players brought in by Napoli in the offseason to help replace Kim Min-jae. He's off to Bayern Munich. But tonight, forced into a role playing at left back. He will certainly be the more withdrawn of the 2 fullbacks is Andre Frank Zambo and Gisa.
Chris, I think Mazzarri's perfectly happy having 3 center backs on. If you rewind more than 12 years ago, it was that 3-man back line that he perfected at Napoli that really led to this modern period of success for the club. That's what he knows.
A chance now for Kvaratskhelia. Now the long distance hit from Elmas forces Jan Sommer to work. Elif Elmas with some strike.
What a hit. The Inter defense kept backing up, expecting that Elmas was just going to try to play it to one of the real danger men up top, and Osimhen, who was maybe thinking about timing the run. What a chance here from Elmas. It was just swirling to that top post, and Jan Sommer, the goalkeeper with the most clean sheets in the league, makes a terrific stop.
And it's Elmas who lays it off there for Politano. That is a high arcing ball there for Anguissa to try and track. And it is off him last, and out for the goal kick.
And Summers talked about what a joy it is as a goalkeeper to play when you have such a good defense in front of you. And I think a good example is just seeing how shaky Andre Onana has been at Manchester United, who obviously don't have that same type of defense that Summers used to now, and that Onana was used to last season when the club went all the way to the Champions League final.
Sommer already matching Andre Onana's output of clean sheets in the entirety of last season. He's got 8 in 13 starts. Controlled there by Mkhitaryan and Barella. Players that did not feature from the start in midweek for Inter as they went away to Benfica in a largely inconsequential game for them in the Champions League. As Di Marco now forward, it's a nice comeback, but Laoka there to intervene.
So many danger men for Inter when they get forward. All 3 of these midfielders can get forward and score. They've got good shots from distance, but then Di Marco with those inverted runs for that left wing back position.
Now Dumfries to put the service in from the other side. Again, away this time from Ostigard. And it's away for a corner. Inter will now go into their final Champions League match day, needing to beat Real Sociedad to top the group. The result against Benfica was really immaterial towards that. That's why Simone Inzaghi went for the 8 changes, 3-0 down at halftime. But that group with obviously some of the regular starters helping to turn that round. Di to swing in. It's an easy one at the near post. And now the strike coming in from Çalhanoğlu is a tame effort. There is Walter Mazzarri in charge in these parts for so long.
And what a difference, Chris. Just the mentality of the team. It felt like Rudy Garcia, from everything the players have said, maybe not the greatest man manager in his spell at Napoli. And just look at the way that the players celebrated after the goals they scored at Bernabeu against Real Madrid. No, they didn't win the game, but it's really about the feeling that a weight's been lifted off the shoulders of these players, that it's anyone but Rudy Garcia. There's a much better climate around. I thought Rudy Garcia did an absolutely terrible job of managing some of his stars. We saw him anger both Kvičić Kvaratskhelia and Victor Osimhen by taking them out of games where they were chasing a result. The in-game management simply was not good enough.
Now Lautaro Martinez. Mkhitaryan's making the run, but eventually found. And the early cross is in and punched away there from Alex Meret. Back in goal. The offside flag came up on that ball in towards Barella.
It was a quality ball that really forced Meret to have to come out of his position to gather it in the air. There's 2 runs being made at the back post. That's the issue right there, is the offside position.
Yeah, it's Mkhitaryan, not Barella, in that offside position. Meret sending it long back in goal after missing a pair of matches after picking up an injury in the warm-up against Empoli. Pierluigi Golini starting both of those games. It's a little bit awkward there for Inter playing through midfield, but eventually into Dumfries and nicely into Marcus Thuram, provider of so many Serie A assists. Now Barella. That's a poor ball, but Di Marco will try and track it.
And Barella can do so much better than that all the time in the world to settle it. He had both the strikers making that run into the box. It's the earlier effort, the first warning shot from Elif Elmas in Napoli. But Jan Sommer was really known for his athleticism and reflex saves. He's not the biggest or most commanding looking goalkeeper, only about 6 foot, which is rather small for a goalkeeper, but the way that he moves around, the agility that he possesses. Just take a look at some of his finest saves. Really spectacular one-on-one reflex efforts.
So good for the Swiss national team, so good for so many years at Borussia Mönchengladbach in Germany. Was the mid-season replacement for the injured Manuel Neuer at Bayern. Now the full-time replacement for Andre Onana at Inter.
And it was such a smart pickup in the summer. It was not very expensive because of the age of Sommer. They were also thinking about the Ukrainian keeper Trubin, who's now in the Portuguese league, but even then, that's more of an experiment. You're not quite sure how that goalkeeper is going to do moving from the Ukrainian league to Serie A, but Jan Sommer tested so many times in a top 5 European league and on the national team in major tournaments. Inter knew exactly what they were getting.
Providing stability right now with that back 3. A couple of injuries to Bastoni and to Benjamin Pavard. Battled for there in the center of the park and actually lofted away. Darmian and Dumfries. Turning on it there on Cherpi. Who attempted the most passes of any player this season in Serie A. Last time out against Juventus, a lot of passing around at the back without a ton of probing, as Dumfries is in an offside position on this ball from Lautaro Martinez.
Yeah, Natan just stepped in the halfway line of Napoli. About a foot off there from Dumfries.
You can see his surprise. Switch attempted, and Dumfries only just about controlling it there for Matteo Darmian. Napoli have been very good at home. The rivalry between these two, unbeaten in 16 of their last 17 in Serie A. And it is Inter who have controlled the rivalry at large. The win on match day 36 last season and part of the Scudetto winning season for Napoli. It's their first in 8 between these two. That's where Napoli are trying to get back to. Brought a lot of that team back and won the Scudetto. Most entertaining team in Serie A, and obviously the most successful. As Natal will go back here to Menez, putting him under some pressure.
Good press.
Couldn't quite find Thuram. Napoli trying to deliberately play out. Not really found any penetration as yet. Di Lorenzo. And Osimhen trying to let it run beyond De Vrij. Di Marco. Finding Lautaro, who only just about keeps it here. Going running beyond Elmas. Native of North Macedonia with a strong challenge in and just letting it run out for the throw. Has preferred this season Elmas. As much as he manages to let Lautaro return for Marcus Thuram! And he's offside. It's normally been Thuram for Lautaro. That time the reverse. Only the flag to deny.
This is such great link-up football. Yeah, he's a step offside, but Inter fans watching this, you have to love those sorts of combinations. The understanding that those two strikers have of one another. It's no surprise it's brought out the best version of Lautaro, currently the league leader in goals scored. And Marcus Thuram has just shown so much dynamism, whether it's his tracking back, his running at the defense, the assists, the goals. He has it all. What a total package. To think, Chris, that he used to be a player, remember in Ligue 1 when he was with Guingamp, he scored about 5 goals a season. He's just become so much better in that department. But that little interchange there, simply brilliant.
Thuram has provided 4 assists to Lautaro, the most between any combination of players in Serie A. Lautaro on 13 goals, Thuram on 9 assists. Anguissa about keeping it and about finding Kvaratskhelia. You can see the alarm bells when he gets the ball. There were 3 orange shirts ready to crown the Georgian. The captain on for Matteo Politano. Oh, he just got it wrong at the final moment. Was trying to find Lewandowski, but gave it away. Throw into the net, Atsuri. Darmian making a one-busting run through midfield. Stefan De Vrij coming forward from centre back. Nicely outside of the boot from Barella. But Thuram got it wrong at the final moment.
Look at the 2 strikers there. One of them suddenly puts on the handbrake while the other one makes the run in behind. It's such a smart combination again that they tried.
And Politano to make amends. Lofted towards Osimhen, but it's Dumfries who will head away for a corner. Such fluidity in that movement, like you said, Matteo, between Thuram and Lautaro.
Well, it's that they seamlessly decide who comes short, who gets in behind. And twice it's looked quite dangerous.
Kvaratskheilia's corner, in towards that near post. Away from Mkhitaryan. Sommer directing Inter's lines forward.
see the defense. It's sometimes in possession really just becoming a back three, which is what Mazzare's been preaching his whole career, and it allows Di Lorenzo to be the one who really gets forward. Nathan's going to stay back as a natural center back. That means Di Lorenzo's got even more cover for his patented runs down that right-hand side.
Osimhen and De Vrij looking uncomfortable there. Kvaratskhelia in the penalty area. Lobotka and Gisa. Politano shouts for man on. Napoli having to recycle, put the cross in. Kvaratskhelia was waiting for it, but Darmian won the header. And Çalhanoğlu looked it clear. It's a tear in the shirt there of Ostigard. Well controlled there by Di Lorenzo and Anguissa. Scored a great goal in the Champions League against Real Madrid. At one point that match 2-2. Nico Pass, the unknown hero. There's a challenge in there between Rahmani and Mkhitaryan. Comes away for an Inter throw. Referee Davide Massa was stopping play behind the ball, and did look earlier when Politano was charging forward that De Vrij looked uncomfortable with an injury, and he might be the latest Inter center back to come off with an injury.
It's the last thing that Inzaghi's wanting on the touchline. I mean, you'd think that they're already without Bastoni, who's closer to coming back certainly than Benjamin Pavard. This would be another center back in De Vrij. And there's simply no depth in that position at the moment because of the injuries. And a slow-mo of the strike here from Elmas. He struck it so well, didn't he? Loads of power. It stayed under the crossbar. And ask the question of this man, Jan Sommer, right out of the gate. Hopefully De Vrij is good to continue.
Pointing at something in his left leg. And there's the change. And it's going to be Carlos Augusto who will come on, who is a left wing back by trade.
Oh, look, we've seen Di Marco in the past play as one of the three center backs. Obviously, that's not where he's at his best. Di Marco wants to be in a position where he's got freedom to attack and really do what he does best, which is in the final third. Carlos Augusto is also an attack-minded left wing back with plenty of technique. So that means that Inter will now have two left wing backs and have to change a bit what they wanted to do originally with that back three. Combination from the two strikers, mentioned it already a few times, but it's that know-how that's been as if they were playing together for years. And Di Marco is playing further forward than Carlos Augusto. So it's Carlos Augusto who's moved off to this left-hand side of the back three.
And just another injury problem in the back for Simone Inzaghi. Kvaratskhelia. And behind for Elmas, who forces Sommer into a save. And Mkhitaryan about dealing with it. Was really more trying to force the rebound there with that attempt. Well, Elmas making a sharp run in behind. Politano and Di Lorenzo cutting neatly and lofting in. Osimhen going for it, getting a piece of it. But Darmian sweeping clear. And it's been the Nerazzurri been under the cosh for most of this first half. One back by Lobotka. Andre Frank Zambo and Gisa. Keeping it there with Politano, who's drifting through. And committing there was Acerbi. Just got a piece of it. And Gisa staying down. Now sportingly put out of play.
Oh, that's it. He gets stepped on right on his ankle, and it seems like It's Carlos Augusto from behind, and it just bends the ankle of Anguissa as he was sliding to make that challenge. Another look at that shot. It was a tight angle. The goalkeeper's always expected to deal with this one, but that's really, as you mentioned, Chris, the rebound, which could be troublesome because Jan Sommer just has to get any touch onto it. But look at where the ball goes, right at the edge of the 6. And it could have been an easy tap in had the Napoli player been in a lucky position.
Now, there can't be a VAR check unless the referee or the VAR thinks it's a red card incident. But probably should have been a yellow there on Augusto.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, studs right on the ankle.
Referee either didn't see it or played on. Di Lorenzo. Amir Rahmani. And Medet. Now Inter taking their chance to try and get numbers forward and put Nathan under pressure. Dealt with it well. Couldn't quite find a fellow Azzurri player. Time will arrive from RB Bragantino, the Red Bull club in Brazil. Part of the vast network of Red Bull clubs around the world. And now he goes in behind here towards Kvaratskhelia, who will get there ahead of Darmian. Davica Kvaratskhelia. The biggest threats in the world in the last year and change. Elmas. Rahmani. Elmas is trying to control. Di Lorenzo won the second ball. Di Marco felt like he was clipped. Referee finds to let play continue. Anguissa. Di Lorenzo. And Politano with shots for offside.
Some really nice combinations, Chris.
Politano, flag not arriving just yet. Lofted in towards Elmas and away from Acerbi.
So this looks way more like what we saw last season from Spalletti. The quickness, the movement off the ball.
And the cross coming in, it's spilled by Sommer. And Anguissa trying to get there, but Çalhanoğlu held him off. Half-hearted shots for a penalty coming from the Napoli players. Lobotka. And now Politano and Rahmani well forward. He trying to strike. And that's Augusto who won it.
Chris, this is really much better from Napoli. The last 10 minutes or so, it's just been great high press to win the ball back. That high line that we saw last season, but it's the possession, right? It's the way that these players are moving off the ball, the triangles and combinations. That's what we did not see under Rudy Garcia. The team looked slower, they looked more predictable. So much sharper now. And against the best team they faced this season in Serie A, they're doing some good work on the ball here.
And that's what Mazzarri said when he took over. He said last year Napoli embraced the concept of the game. We have to start from there when possible. From now on, we will always try to play football.
And you know, there's some people that could have said, you know, Mazzarri's maybe something of the past. It's been a decade since he was around these parts. Since then, he just moved to provincial clubs, didn't have much success. Became a bit of a meme with the stopwatch thing and that Watford interview, but maybe some people forget what a great job he did at Napoli, bringing them to the Champions League, having success in Serie A, challenging at the top of the table with the Tre Tenori, Cavani, Hamšík, and Lavezzi.
Referee again letting play continue. Thuram. And Mkhitaryan finding Di Marco well and forcing Rahmani to put the block in. And this time, the whistle is blown for a challenge on Zambo Anguissa. Free kick given.
And for Inter, just a sigh of relief, right? They weathered that storm, the possession from Napoli. Sommer already made 2 important stops. But Inter can play this game. Something Romelu Lukaku told us on our airwaves last season, that Inzaghi, midway through the last campaign, decided to change tactics. He wanted to start the season playing more a higher line, take more risks, and then realized this just is not the DNA of this current group, so he played more in the same style that we saw in the past, a team that is so good being direct on the counterattack.
Give it away. Mkhitaryan, or rather Çalhanoğlu, and Barella is dinking it in, hoping that no one sure was making the run, but comes kindly for the Napoli keeper. Ostergaard, the Norwegian, back from injury. Second season after joining from Brighton in the Premier League. Napoli in control of the ball. It's normally Inter who sees the initiative, but that time suffering away from home. And the beating there of Dumfries, but couldn't play it out the other side. Well controlled here by Natsuri. And Lautaro is charging forward. Lautaro Martinez with Dumfries with him. Dumfries trying the cutback. And Lobotka won it back. It's a loose ball there. Stanislav Lobotka giving it away. Mkhitaryan. It's a loose pass. Rahmani steps. And Barella nicely outside of the boot again. Dumfries, can he get it right this time? Barella whipping it in. Thuram was there. Zambo Anguissa getting it away. Darmian. Barella trying all kinds of flicks. Dumfries now low through it towards Lautaro. He got a piece of it.
He's become one of the most elite strikers in Europe at timing his runs, Lautaro. That's why he takes so many first-time shots. Look at this movement right here. It's what he did last week, too. He pretends like he's going to go off the back shoulder to the defender, and then at the last second, he cuts inside, gets in front of his marker, and usually gets the goal that way. His movement in the box is really just the ultimate poacher in that regard.
Now Çalhanoğlu's delivery. Strong header away from Osimhen. And Di Marco trying to hit the volley.
Oh, great job.
Trying to summon something special, but couldn't quite.
Victor Osimhen, so good usually scoring goals with his head, but also does the dirty work. Remember last year in Naples when we were able to sit down in Spalletti's office, he wanted to show us a clip. We all thought it was going to be an attacking move, but no, it was the entire team tracking back with Osimhen leading the charge to run the entire length of the field to stop a Sassuolo counterattack. That's what Spalletti was the most proud of, and that's what we're seeing here today, a team that's really fighting for their manager off the ball.
Augusto, who has settled into that back three, allowing for Di Marco to get forward. Largely playing the same position, Di Marco and Augusto, but sharing the field. It's normally one of the regular changes that Simone Inzaghi will make. Augusto has come on as a substitute now 13 times in 14 Inter matches. Nathan. Ali Felmas. Almas, who has scored in each of the last two Napoli wins, including that winner against Napoli, or against Atalanta last time out in Serie. Zambo Anguissa. Times Napoli just trying to reduce the temperature of the game. Rahmani. Now the Inter press coming forward here. Rahmani going direct up towards Osimhen. Well controlled there by Carlos Augusto. Nice cameo for him at center back. Player arrived from Monza. Lautaro Martinez. One of the very best center forwards in the world. And poked in behind towards Barella. And well read there by Østigard. He felt like he came off of Barella last, but it is a corner to Inter on the half hour.
Good awareness there from Østigard at reading that passing lane and just able to stick the boot in front of Barella at split second. He wins that duel. He's been in and out of the team, Østigard, mostly on the bench last season when Kim Min-jae was there, and Kim Min-jae and Rahmani were by far the most preferred duo. But now with all the injuries, Østigard has been one of those who's had to really fill in and show his worth.
Di Marco whipping in at pace, and Osimhen winning at the near post. Lautaro trying to track it. It's not fully cleared yet. It's not fully cleared yet. Di Marco trying to go low through the penalty area. Chipped in, and Lobotka winning this time. Kvaratskhelia. Well controlled there by Mkhitaryan. More conversation about a potential contract extension for Mkhitaryan. No doubt a first-choice player for Inzaghi in that three-man midfield.
And I think when he was signed originally from Roma, the idea was to have a quality attack-minded midfielder off the bench. Before that, they had Arturo Vidal, who was on quality of his career, Matti Vecino. But Mkhitaryan's done so well, he's forced Frattesi on the bench.
Di Marco in behind Mkhitaryan through the penalty area, and Østigard just about getting a piece. Rahmani getting rid. Di Marco had plenty of options there, just couldn't find one, as Inter remain in search of their first shot on target of this match. Barella lifted in, Lautaro to control, just couldn't steady it for himself.
It seemed like Lautaro was thinking about going for the overhead kick, right? The way that he just chested that down, thought about it, but then probably heard the footsteps from behind of the defender closing him down.
He's waiting for that too. Just running out of real estate on the far side there, Çalhanoğlu. There's Victor Osimhen, who's largely been starved of it on this occasion. Been on the mend for that hamstring injury. Appearing off the bench. Perhaps still not 90 minutes fit, but fit enough to start. I've seen Giacomo Raspadori really step to the fore in his absence and play pretty well. But Osimhen is one of the very best in the world. Politano just having to get onto his left to try and find the option. Eventually, the free kick is given. Politano once more. Given against Mkhitaryan. This coming together here. Nice interchange there with Nathan and Kvaratskhelia. Di Lorenzo. And Anguissa's in space. Anguissa looked like he wanted to have a hit. Slides it for Politano. In behind for Di Lorenzo. Chips the cross in and took a deflection there off of Di Marco. And well handled there by the Inter keeper. It's largely been Napoli in control of the ball. They've had 68% possession in the last 15 minutes. Darmian. Not too much of it there for Nathan to win. You can see Mazzari living with every kick of the game. It's a poor giveaway there from Çalhanoğlu and Kvaratskhelia to try and make him pay. Politano onto his preferred left, goes for the goal. It's off the woodwork. Such a sweet left foot Politano has, and nearly opened the scoring.
What a hit, and that was all because of the mistake from Çalhanoğlu trying to thread the needle, gets his ball intercepted, and how costly could that mistake have been? Politano's been one of Napoli's best players, so sharp when he's cutting inside, and that would have been a spectacular effort from the winger. We've seen some really great individual moments of brilliance from Politano this season, playing the highest level of football of his career. And this would have been one with a bit of a bonus for him personally. Former Inter player that fell out of the plans when Antonio Conte took over. Didn't fit the formation, the 3-5-2.
Augusto misjudged it and nearly presented it there to Politano, who's gone over. Feeling like he was caught.
And there's the mistake. Çalhanoğlu was trying to find Barella, but Kvaratskhelia read that beautifully. Intercepts the ball, and then Politano nearly with a worldie from outside the box. Just couldn't get it to dip that extra few inches.
Limping back to his feet for that challenge with Augusto. It is a throw rather than a free kick. Meret. Really became the full-time keeper last season. His 5th year with the club, and to earn that trust after moving from Udinese.
I used to do a time sharing with David Ospina, the Colombian. And I remember when Ospina left the club, Napoli were searching for a better goalkeeper. They didn't fully trust Meret. Then they ended up not signing anyone and handing the keys to Meret and seeing how he did. And that team ended up winning the first Scudetto in more than 3 decades. So Meret, rightfully so, gets to keep his job.
Worked out okay. Now again, just a slowing of the pace. Inter just wanting to remain in control of this one. Dumfries lofting in. Çalhanoğlu trying to head it in towards Lautaro, who just lets it run and gets a boot to it. Meta had to come out. Referee giving it all cleanly, and no offside against Martinez either.
What a bizarre play that was. Martinez had to step on his marker. It felt like both players were holding on to each other. Let's see, was he offside? Yeah, seemed like he was just leaning offside. Right there. I mean, he's able to keep his balance. It's nothing clear from Di Lorenzo, nothing that would be a penalty, but it would be a moot point given that it was an offside just moments before. It would have been quite the creative Zlatan Ibrahimovic-esque goal had that gone in.
VAR clearing the entirety of that incident. Kvaratskhelia now running in behind, but Darmian gonna have the better pace, but was positionally well placed. Di Marco couldn't control. What a stretch Walter Mazzari has embarked upon this Napoli season. Atalanta, Real Madrid away in the Champions League, Inter, and then away at Juventus on Friday.
That was a row of nightmare and it could have started off very poorly, and you could have hardly faulted Mazzarri given the strength of schedule. But so far we've seen a lot of positivity from the way the team has reacted, the camaraderie that's been formed, and also some of these passing exchanges, Chris, have been reminiscent of last season, which is all Napoli fans could have asked for.
And the fifth game of Mazzarri's tenure is against Braga, which on paper is not a massive opponent, but is a massive game for Napoli as it's lofted in towards Osimhen, who tries to get a piece. Let's glance off him and out to Kvaratskhelia. And towards Andre Frink, Zambo and Kisa. Lautaro putting the challenge in. Good defensive work there.
Yeah, and clear plan for Inter. Anytime Kvara gets the ball on this near side, you see Barella shift over, and they put that instant double. Him and Denzel Dumfries just trying to prevent Kvara from doing anything on his own. One of those mazy solo runs that he's so good at, especially because he's so hard to predict, right? He can use the right or left foot seamlessly. So as a defender, you always want the winger to have a tendency, so at least you could show him the outside if he's an inverted winger. With Kvara, show him the inside or outside, he'll go the other way and either play in a good cross or shoot on goal. Very tricky player to defend.
Anguissa. Charlatan comfortable on the ball there at left back. Doesn't get forward too often, but he's helping the play along. Kvaratskhelia having a hit. Osimhen trying to flip back in towards Politano, but didn't quite come for him. Natan now stepping forward. Osimhen called for it. Osimhen controls. Victor Osimhen having two touches, but couldn't quite get anything away.
Just trying to loop it over the top of Carlos Augusto. It was a creative little move there. Good positioning there from Osimhen. The ball was behind him. He's still able to just magnetize the ball on his chest. So good in the air, Victor Osimhen, apart from his many other skills. Had them all on display last season.
Well controlled there by Anguissa and Elmas. And Politano getting the return from Anguissa, and again going for the curler. This one just going beyond the woodwork, but again the threat's coming for range from Matteo Politano.
Again, Politano, why not have a go? Last time it hit the crossbar, that wasn't that terrible of an effort. Much higher than the last. But Politano's been in some sort of confidence this season.
Thuram. See there the race for top scorer in Serie A. Lautaro well atop it. Can Thuram find them again? Or can Di Marco loft it in? Dumfries tracking it, wing back to wing back, and now Barella lit up for Chalana.
Oh!
An absolute stunner to silence this crowd at the Malahona. What a hit from Hakan Çalhanoğlu, as only he can.
What an effort to take it like that on the volley. We know he's got a rocket of a right foot. Seems like the ball takes the slightest deflection on its path to goal, but still had the technique to take it in the air like that and just dispatch a heat-seeking missile. Look at this, on the bounce. Just drives through it, pulverizes the ball. My mistake, I thought it might have taken the slightest deflection. That has no deflection whatsoever. That's just a moment of brilliance. Sambo Anguissa gets so close. No, it's just about an inch away from making contact, but that's just a world-class strike from Hakan Çalhanoğlu, a player who has completely changed his position since coming over to Inter. He's become one of the best deep-lying playmakers in Italy. Someone who grew up as a left winger or an attacking midfielder who always had that in his arsenal, the long-distance hits, but now can do so much more. And that's a flashback to his earlier days as a goal-scoring attacking midfielder. What a strike that is. No chance for Alex Meret.
You said it, an absolute missile off the right boot of Çalhanoğlu.
And he just catches it so sweetly. That ball's coming to him on the hop. He catches it in the air. And that connection must have felt so good for the people who've played football in their earlier days. I was terrible at it. I could only wish to have that feeling of a strike land so sweetly. Oh my goodness.
Nice. Trying to get forward there, Politano. Trying to put the cross in. Inter have now scored in their last 14 away games and last 22 games in Serie A. Now what can Napoli find as their response? Politano to swing in. Di Lorenzo got a piece, but not enough to trouble Sommer.
Oh, Chris, the rise of Hakan Çalhanoğlu is one of the more surprising things I've seen as it's all kicking off now. Denzel Dumfries, the one who's having to be ushered away. But having seen every minute of Çalhanoğlu when he was at Milan, and then he left on a free transfer to the Inter, there were a lot of Milan fans were saying, okay, good riddance. Player that wasn't exactly a fan favorite, but he came to Inter, changed his role because of that Marcelo Brozovic injury. He had to fill in, and since he has, he's even outplayed Brozovic. That's why Brozovic couldn't get back in the team nearly as consistently. Unbelievable story. You just don't see that often, Chris, in football. A player in the peak of his powers, changing his position and getting better than the position he played for his entire career.
His 6th goal of the year, first that isn't from the penalty spot. 5 for 5 this season in Serie A on penalties. As Osimhen offside. I'm sure Chance in the studio, along with Poppy Miller, will be breaking this one down at halftime. Hakan Çalhanoğlu has absolutely stolen the show here at the Diego Maradona. His laser beam has Inter a goal to the good ahead of Napoli. The studio is back with halftime coverage next.
It's the BetMGM offer of the week. Get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. For all the games this weekend. Have your picks, parlays, and popcorn ready. And turn any game into a must-watch. Download the BetMGM app, and it's on.
This difficulty demands an ease specialist.
Yeah, that's me. Geico makes it easy to get coverage for what you care about. Cars, apartments, jewelry.
Jewelry?
Goonie.
It's easy to Geico.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. And the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or just announced just in time for Black Friday. Get $6,000 purchase allowance on select 2023 Sierra models when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP.
Oh, sick headphones. Mine barely work. Oh, these are great. You should get them. I know. I really need a new pair. See ya.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket.
My family loves going foraging by our farm. And with Cricket, we can mark our locations, post photos, even identify mushrooms.
Don't have to look far for a good deal. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Sounds like y'all had a fun vacation.
Amazing.
Even the lovebirds let loose. Did Dad get a chance to chill?
Oh, yeah.
So who had the most fun?
Me.
No one does fun like Carnival.
I'm a walking lick. Having nothing on my wrist. Paparazzi taking pics. Something you don't want to miss.
We're back for an all-new season of Ink Master.
This is wild.
And 3-time Ink Master winner DJ Tambi returns as a judge.
Guaranteed there's going to be some shots fired.
I gotta watch our back. You're gonna get it, because you talk a lot, bro.
This tattoo is badass.
That is insanity.
This piece is super dynamic. You better strap in and be ready for the ride.
Victory is a work of art. Ink Master, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Welcome along to the Heineken halftime report. There is one goal in the first half in Naples. It came from Hakan, and what a goal it was. His first goal from open play this season, his 6th overall, and he has Inter up against Napoli at the break. Good to have you with us. I'm Poppy Miller here with Giuseppe Rossi, Mike Grella and Marco Messina. Do you think, Giuseppe, that Napoli are going to be feeling really hard done by at halftime, given the performance they put in the first half?
Probably. They've had a lot of possession. What have they done with that possession? A great shot off the post by Politano, great save. But I want to see something more. I want to see them finalize more. And on those transitions, there's a lot of space for Inter for those counterattacks. So they're going to have to be careful with that.
Mm-hmm. Both teams very good in possession. Both teams want the ball. But Inter, again, like we said, they can adapt. They can change the way they want to play. Napoli goes, okay, we're going to play our game. We're at home. We're going to possess. We're going to make a lot of passes. They're suffocating at times, pressing Inter high up the field. But then there was Inter that just was like, okay, you guys keep the ball. We normally have 56, 57% possession, but you know what? You guys keep it. We'll wait for our moment. They get the moment. And when we talk about quality, we talk about different levels. Çalhanoğlu, that shot at the top of the box, that is the difference, that kind of quality. Even the pass from Barella, I mean, that's next level.
Which, for me, is a sign of a very good team, right? We're saying that Napoli, they did so many great things throughout the match, but then Inter, in a moment, as we've seen over the past couple of weeks, they come out here and they're the ones that are up 1-0. They have those game changers in so many different positions that put you in a difficult position, and Napoli's not able to capitalize on their moments. But all things said, Napoli look a lot better than I feel like what we've seen in the past 3 weeks or from the start of the season. There's a life, there's momentum. It feels like the old Napoli. They have to get a goal and they have to get a result.
Yeah, it feels promising, doesn't it, from Napoli, despite them being down at halftime. Here's a look at the highlights. It's always a magnificent occasion at the Maradona. This one no different for a clash of some top teams in Serie A. Inter looking to take back over the top spot. You talked about Napoli's chances, and here was one of them so early on in the game. It was Elmas.
Elmas, Poppy's favorite player, with a wonderful strike. He gets his moment. This one is brilliant, but a great save from Jan Sommer, who's not often called upon, but this one he did great.
And this one, Kvara is swinging at the Politano. Politano, by the way, has better numbers in less minutes than Kvara. Not getting talked about enough, but this one comes in on his strong foot and smashes the bar. Look at the swerve and the dip on this one. Very unlucky that doesn't find the back of the net.
And then 39 minutes in, it was a chance for Lautaro here.
Yes, we have Lautaro here, very dangerous as always. Meret came out very strong, saved the goal out here. But Inter in this moment were pressing. Offsides, we don't know, no offsides there. But Inter was pressing at this moment, and a couple minutes later they found the goal.
Yeah, and then 44th minute, this is the moment that unlocked the match. Di Marco, who had to switch positions a little bit, he gets his ball, heads it down from Dumfries, but at a nice little touch, and then Hakan Çalhanoğlu ready for takeoff. Brilliant goal, his first from open play, and this one. We know how good his strikes are, but this is one of the best.
Wing back to start the play. They know how they're going to score. They cross balls, wing back, then to Barella, creative midfielder, and then Çalhanoğlu with probably the best, most pure strike in the Serie.
What about the second half, Giuseppe? Do you think it'll be similar from both teams now? Napoli continuing to push, but what about for Inter now? They're one up.
Oh, Inter, I'm happy sitting back, keeping just the ball in front of us, right? And then just countering, because we have two great strikers in Thuram, who with space is very dangerous. Lautaro, one of the best players in the world in this moment, he will find his chance. He will get a couple of those chances, and we'll see if they're able to capitalize.
Okay, so Inter on track to go back top of the Serie A table if they can hold on to this lead that they've got in Naples. Stay with us. We're going to bring you the Heineken first half unmissable moment next.
It's the BetMGM offer of the week. Get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. For all the games this weekend. Have your picks, parlays, and popcorn ready. And turn any game into a must-watch. Download the BetMGM app, and it's on.
Geico makes car insurance easy.
Say when.
As easy as loving Parmesan.
Say when. Say when. Say when. When.
Fresh ground pepper?
Oh, yes, please. With 24/7 emergency roadside service, it's easy to Geico.
Oh, can we get a box?
Okay, we look good in our little game night pajamas.
Love a good breeze.
Did that fella just talk to me?
Yes, I love those little guys. You could not beat me. I'm a big elephant in a tiny cap. Go, 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 go. Ah, we win! Yes! Yes. Having a daddy-daughter day, that's my way to play Nintendo Switch. You ever feel like the only place you can find cars is in car commercials? Oh, this isn't a car commercial. This is an Auto Trader commercial. And this is one of the millions of new and used cars that you can find on Auto Trader. You can find cars like the ones on your favorite show. Oh, no. Or the car in this show. Get out the water. I bet I can even find the cars in my feed. Sure can. You can even find the car in that movie on Auto Trader. Hey, find your own car.
Right now on PetSmart.com, save an extra 20% off site-wide with code CYBER20. So you can make merry memories with the ones you love.
Yes, I do anything for you.
PetSmart, anything for pets.
Welcome back to the Heineken unmissable moment from the first half. It was only ever going to be one moment, wasn't it, Marco? And it came from Hakan.
I think Grella wants to take this one. Go on.
Listen, it's as pure as it gets. If the net's not there, that ball's still traveling right now as we're doing the halftime. I mean, he's just absolutely purees it, and the thing's rising and swerving. Isn't there nothing the goalkeeper can do?
What a goal.
Amazing. So good.
You didn't say your classic.
I know.
He was trying to tee you up.
Yeah, I know.
You don't want to.
I do it when I want to do it.
What's the classic?
Okay.
Sorry, it's Mike Grella's world. He likes to say, what a goal. No matter how the goal is, Giuseppe. If it's a tap-in, it's what a goal. If it's a worldie, it's what a goal. Any moment, it's what a goal.
I was with my mouth open. I was with my mouth open for a while. I was just like, wow. Because also I feel bad for Napoli that they were not dominating like you said, but they were in control of the game. They had a lot of possession, a lot of good things. And then Inter, of course, they were just waiting for that moment and they just go back and capitalize. I mean, how many other teams have a midfielder of that quality that takes maybe 8 of those and only can score 1, or 10 of those and only can score 1? Çalhanoğlu just needs 1. I mean, it's not an easy one either. The ball's bouncing. It's really good. Really good.
Difference maker.
In terms of the second half, then, when you look at what both teams have got on the bench, obviously they both played in Champions League midweek. When you look at Napoli's bench, they've got options, haven't they? They've got Raspadori on the bench, Simeone, Zielinski. How early do you think we'll see Mazzari go to?
I mean, they've looked good, going forward. We've said it. They've had their opportunities. They had their chances. Maybe defensively they could have been better, but they're without the left back. But both sides have good players off the bench. Even Inter, when we reversed, we didn't even mention De Vrij went off injured. Yet they're able to adapt. They got no Bastoni, no Pavard, no De Vrij. And then we're still looking at players on the bench who can make the difference. Arnautovic, Frattesi. So it's great from both sides, so it'll definitely play its factor in the second half.
All right, let's see what happens and stay with us. We're going to get you back out to Chris and Matteo for the second half after this short break.
Hey, Brad, you know how Nationwide is more than an insurance company?
Oh, yeah. They're one of America's largest financial services companies.
Could we get that in a song like business life retirement?
Or Nationwide's there to protect.
Maybe leave the songs to me.
But I'm the one with 3 Grammys.
I'm kind of the jingle guy.
Not sure I agree with that.
Well, I'm not sure I like your hat.
Well, it would never fit on you.
Wow.
I'm a walking lick. Having nothing on my wrist. Paparazzi taking pics. Something you don't want to miss.
Price to pay. California on my license plate. Last year they ain't even put me on some. Put me on some. Put me on some.
Born in the wild. A magic alchemy of woods and spices. Rare. Intoxicating. The soul of Sauvage. Elixir Dior.
Your heart is the beat of life. If you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor if Entresto is right for you.
Could we add a jelly donut?
Yeah. Can we add an old-fashioned?
Can we have vanilla cream?
Yeah. Can we have chocolate sprinkles?
Can we have vanilla sprinkles?
Can we have strawberry
Can
sprinkles?
we have a few powdered?
Can we have
Oh, and
a
blueberry glaze.
glaze?
Okay.
And
Boston cream. Is that 12?
Hi, welcome back. The players making their way back out at the Maradona. There's Victor Osimhen. Good to see him, Grella, back in the starting 11 after he's been out for quite some time now with an injury. Obviously, he had the substitutions in the past, but how did you rate his first half?
Listen, he's always a problem. He's always dangerous. This Napoli, though, they played well. All the metrics are the same. They're playing good football. They're suffocating Inter. But you do get that sense that they lost their mojo a little bit, right? And this would be a great second half to get that mojo back, get something out of this game at home. With a hungry Osimhen, with a really good front three, get something from this game, and then maybe you can grow that confidence, that mojo that they had all last season. Inzaghi
not with a great record against Napoli. How do you rate Napoli's chances of getting points from this game?
They do have a chance. They play great ball. But Inter's tough in the back. Inter's tough in the back. They're going to be very compact. When are they going to bring in that second strike?
All right, let's see. Let's get you back over to our boys, Chris and Matteo, for the second half.
Just about ready for kickoff of the second 45 minutes from the Estadio Diego Maradona. Inter going top of the live table as it stands right now. What a strike it was from Hakan Çalhanoğlu to get the scoring started in this one. And absolute showstoppers are underway with the second 45 minutes. Inter again holding their opposition scoreless in the first half. They've done that in 12 of their 14 Serie A matches. But did have to suffer in points of that first half as Dumfries trying to get the movement going quickly. Barella coming across to help. Barella, who did play a perceivably small but instrumental part in the goal with a little layoff for the hit of Çalhanoğlu. It's long there from Sommer. One back by Lobotka. Napoli can control. Matteo, Mike Grella and the team in the studio were talking about Napoli maybe having to try and recapture their mojos. There's a man down and Kvaratskhelia is waving over the medical staff. Real urgency as Dumfries has gone down.
And that's really worrying, the reaction from Kvaratskhelia.
when the opposition players wave over like that. Genuine concern. Let's see here. It's the bump in there, maybe the landing as well. The back of the leg there of Dumfries.
I was worried we might have seen something. Maybe he landed strange on his knee or his leg, but in the end it was just a really hard bump on his backside. Seems to be the issue. What a strike that was from Çalhanoğlu. Catches it on the hop and just drives through that ball so sweetly. One of Inter's best players coming up in one of the biggest games of the season. They have so many records already this season. Most goals in the league, the least conceded. Top goal scorer, top assist man leading the line, but they didn't need either of those two for that one. That's what we mentioned before the game, the midfielders that can get forward for Inter and be such a trouble with their goal-scoring prowess, whether it's Mkhitaryan, Çalhanoğlu, maybe even Di Marco from that left wing-back spot. There's so many options that can hurt you in the final third other than the two strikers.
But the question is now heading towards these second 45 minutes, how will Napoli hurt Inter? Do you have the players to do it?
Good ball.
As Mkhitaryan is charging on here, as Barella running in behind. He'll now slide it towards him, but it was too heavy. Falls to his knees. Upset with himself that he couldn't quite find the Italian international.
And who led the line there, or kick-started the play, was that slip-through ball from Çalhanoğlu, just to split the two Napoli defenders that really started off this play. Slightly too heavy there from Mkhitaryan. Barella just couldn't latch onto it cleanly.
Dumfries, who's back on, is going to chase this one with Natan. Both throwing a shoulder in. It's the Brazilian who wins out and wins the throw. And earns the support of the home fans here. Natan, who did play left back while at Bragantino. Began his career at Flamengo in Brazil. He's looked comfortable. Trying for Barella, trying the early cross. Di Lorenzo taking no chances by conceding the corner. And now Di Marco will come over to take. Inter would love a controlling two-goal lead here. Lofted into the heart of the area, away from Ostergaard. The other club for Milan did come here and take a two-goal lead at the Maradona. But Napoli did come back in that one and draw it 2-2. This one follow a similar script. Will Inter win yet another Serie A match and go top of the pile again at the close of business tonight? Lobotka. And Jesus managing to win the throw. Inter winning their first 5 matches of this campaign on their travels. Drew last time out against Juventus, their first drop points away from home this season as Osimhen's won the free kick. But Cherby has stayed down behind the play. Well across here. There's Walter Mazzarri in charge of his third match in Napoli. Taking over from Rudy Garcia, who took over from Luciano Spalletti. hero in these parts, Spalletti, but couldn't quite reach an agreement to come back. Now in charge of the Italian national side.
I think what Inter's defense has done so well is keep wraps of Napoli's two most dangerous playmakers up top. Osimhen's hardly had a sniff at goal, and Kvara's not been able yet to go on one of his mazy runs down that left side. He's been double teamed instantly every time he gets the ball by Barella and Dumfries.
Napolitano has charged onto it, but Augusto putting out that particular fire. And Di Lorenzo has to come off him last after he put the challenge in. It's a goal kick. It's way too heavy there from Sommer. Now Napoli trying to build out. Largely not had a ton of success in the penalty area. Almas providing the big shots on target. Napolitano on it here, providing the efforts from long distance. One hitting the woodwork. Di Lorenzo, Anguissa. And the cross in from Politano with his weaker right. Osimhen throwing himself at it, then trying to throw himself with the overhead kick. And Barella emerging from it. And again, man down, heart of the penalty area. I think it was that attempt from Osimhen that caught Çalhanoğlu.
Good job there, Acerbi, going up and meeting Osimhen at the highest point in the air. Osimhen's such a good leaper, the way that he times those headers. So well defended by the timeless Acerbi. Thought he was going to be entering the twilight of his career, and then he goes on to stop Erling Haaland in the Champions League final, casually. Not bad for an old man, eh, Chris?
As one does. So many struggled to keep Haaland under wraps, but Inter managed to do it. Played so well in that Champions League final. As Almas is getting forward. Kvaratskhelia. Could he curl this one? Slowed down there. Well run by Barella. And out Dumfries. And Inter can break here. Might just have slowed him down by playing it behind him. Politano did foul. Federico Di Marco. It is a free kick.
And in hindsight, this Kvara tried to do a little too much on that last play. He gets by his first man, Çalhanoğlu, and he had a chance to square it. There was midfielders wanting the ball who would have been in a much better position. And it's when Kvara tries to take on an extra man that he gets dispossessed.
Taken short. Inter will take their chances just to ping it about. Slow the game down. Use their strong technical qualities to keep possession. Martinez. Just as I say that, loses possession. Matan. Kvaratskhelia trying to let it run, gesturing towards the referee. Almas pulled to the floor. It is a free kick. Dumfries picking the ball up and walking away with it, delaying the restart. Surprised the referee hasn't intervened there. Di Lorenzo is put in a bad spot. Now has to put the challenge in to win it back after giving it away. Politano harried there by Mkhitaryan. Free kick. delays of restarts. Napoli want to get on with it. Osimhen and Augusto able to deal with it. He's forced into a position he might not have been expecting, but he's done well.
Yeah, Napoli have tried to get Osimhen involved, but every time they've played the ball in, he's been defended so well. Last few times he's tried to chest the ball down, but it's gotten away from him. Still waiting for that clear sight on goal. We know that Osimhen only needs a half chance to score a spectacular goal.
Anguissa. And Osimhen, it's a lovely first touch. Now going down a little, the challenge of Academy. Referee waving play on. Kvaratskhelia towards the back. Kvaratskhelia! And Sommer got a piece.
Well, this is all going to be rewinded to see that intervention from Academy on Osimhen. Look at the way Osimhen just turns the other way. Academy wasn't expecting it. And here's the best look. Oh, he does get clipped there on the Achilles with the studs. Then just a second after that, it's a terrific save from Sommer to deny Kvarat on his left foot. But you saw that super slow-mo did show that there was contact. The studs of Academy caught the back of Osimhen's. Seemed like it just scraped the Achilles. Of course, in slow-mo, and it's something that we've talked about so many times, everything will always look worse when you slow it down to that degree. But there was contact there from Academy.
There he is going over. The touch. See, it just gets a piece. There it is in real time. Penalty for you?
Well, it's the way, I think what they're looking at is the way that Osimhen lunges in with that right foot, almost putting it in the way of Academy.
After that check, it's going to be a corner, no penalty. Elmas to lift it in. Lobotka, or rather, Ostigard threw himself at it. Elmas getting the block in, this time from Mkhitaryan. Elmas only just kept it. Lobotka letting it run and keeping possession, and Mata nearly got caught there. It was nearly Jerome there to pounce and mid it. Spotting the danger, just gave away a throw. Didn't see anywhere else to put it. Mkhitaryan, might he have a go? Got underneath that one. Quite the spectacular effort produced by his midfield partner Çalhanoğlu. Augusto lifting forward. Osimhen got a piece in the air. His first start in nearly 2 months, Osimhen. Certainly more involved in this second half so far. Lautaro going to the floor. Referee unmoved. Inzaghi stepping onto the playing surface to appeal that one. Di Lorenzo. Politano, heavy touch just to keep it. Kept in there with Di Marco, and now Augusto. Nice interchange. Comes for Lautaro Martinez. Low into the penalty area. Barella drifting through.
Oh my goodness!
Sublime skill, and the finish applied. And Inter have their 2-0 lead just beyond the hour.
What a brilliant individual bit of skill this is from Nico Barella. Twisting and weaving his way. It's right there. Look at the way that Carlos Augusto is able to latch onto that ball. Lautaro, the top scorer, this time place provider, but it seems too easy. The Napoli defenders, statuesque. Look at Nathan right there. He almost looks sheepish. All look scared of putting in a tackle that would lead to a penalty, and Barella can't believe how open he is. Just twist in between Ostigard on one side, Nathan on the other. It's suspect defending. It's a great ball in from Lautaro. And Chris, how much more dramatic does that call that I'm sure is being talked all around Italy, the no pen on Osimhen, looks that much more important and dramatic now, with Inter quickly capitalizing with another goal.
Did Acerbi get a piece of Osimhen enough for it to be a foul, enough for it to be a penalty? They looked at it, wasn't given, but Barella had the assist for the first goal. The little layoff for Çalhanoğlu.
Yeah, and look, something that we talked to referees, we've heard their explanations. Not all contact is a penalty, and the biggest point here is that when any image is slowed down to that degree, it's always going to look worse than in live time.
And in Serie A, they have those cameras in super slow-mo. So we saw a challenge come in on one of those cameras, and you do see the contact, but I think in real time, there's not a ton in it.
And look, it's always going to be a gray area, right? Because you could say, oh, it's VAR's fault. It's always humans at the end of the day deciding these things behind the scenes in the VAR room, and it is objective just how much contact is enough for a penalty or enough for a dive. And there, the judgment was that the contact wasn't sufficient.
And there, the judgment was that it wasn't a handball of Elif Almaz, but ball forward from Politano given away. It's the same situation we saw earlier this season. The club from Milan has come into the Maradona and led by 2-0. AC Milan earlier this season gave away that lead. Napoli nearly turned it all the way around. Kvaratskhelia had a chance in second half stoppage time. Can they do the same tonight? Or can Inter, as they usually do, lock this one down? They're controlling it here through Augusto. And the goal scorer Barella. And Di Marco. Nicely around the corner. Augusto getting beyond Di Lorenzo. Can he find Thuram? And it's just cut off there by Ostigard at the final moment. The Brazilian unable to find Thuram for yet another Inter goal.
And we're hardly ever going to see Di Marco and Augusto on at the same time. It's usually one or the other, right? Augusto's the one who normally replaces Di Marco in that wing-back role. We know Inzaghi loves to rotate the wing-backs, but I'm enjoying seeing these two together. We've seen Augusto pushing high up as one of the three center-backs, something that we normally see from Alessandro Bastoni, who's been injured. But it's his technical ability and directness that's really causing a bit of problems. He was involved in the build-up to that second goal by Barella. And he's had some nice combinations down this left side, Augusto. Talk about a meteoric rise, Chris, from Monza in their promotion season to now Inter and starting for the Brazilian national team.
Politano with Anguissa having to get there.
Although
and he did. Couldn't keep it in play, though.
Maybe not the best for Brazilians to talk about the last start for Augusto. That was at Maracanã in that crazy situation. Don't even know if Brazil's going to make the next World Cup, given the way they've been performing in the CONMEBOL qualifiers.
Has not been brilliant, but the overhead look of the goal.
Oh, just terrific. And Barella can't quite believe his eyes. That runway that was afforded to him by Ostigard on one side, Nathan on the other, who seems slow to react.
When a late arriving midfielder arrives at the doorstep of the goalkeeper, something has gone wrong. But Barella has used the outside of his foot flawlessly tonight. And he's on it again here. And he's played Dumfries into space. And there's a couple of options for him. In towards Lautaro Martinez. Couldn't keep it down. Serie's top goal scorer, nearly with another.
And the troubling thing is the space now that's been afforded to Inter. Napoli committing even more bodies forward. Dumfries plays the perfect ball. Thuram's covered, but there's that late arriving run from Lautaro, who's wedged in between the midfield and defensive lines of Napoli. And normally you'd expect him to put that one away easily. And the first change, Raspadori, who can play anywhere in the front line, can lead the line, can play behind the striker.
We'll see how Mazzari will choose to deploy him. Lautaro again trying to put this back four under pressure. Rachmani falling under the weight of the challenge there from Di Marco well forward. So you do see Raspadori and Osimhen on the pitch at the same time. He's flick around the corner. Anguissa and Raspadori combining well. Does look like the substitute has come close to Osimhen in behind him. Lifted in towards Victor Osimhen. Only just wide there, and Sommer was flapping at it.
That was a great delivery. There's the leaping that we talked to about Osimhen, the way that he rises to attack that ball. He's about a foot higher than Carlos Augusto. It's a good ball from Nathan. Going in uncharted territory, but he puts it on a platter for Osimhen, who just trying to glance that header to the back post. It's just narrowly wide.
Ostigar was all over Thuram there. Referee letting play continue. So you're in an advantageous position. Mkhitaryan trying to find Thuram in the area. He's largely had a quiet evening, but right now is really pushing that Napoli back four. It's Thuram of that front two that has normally provided the assist, but Lautaro getting in on the act there. His second of the season. Sliding that ball for Barella. Raspadori losing out. Augusto and Mkhitaryan low cross. Thuram gonna get there. Barella on the follow. A wild effort in the end, but Inter continue to apply the pressure. They're not satisfied with two.
Yeah, but this time a great individual performance from Ostigar, who can't make any mistake from that position, or else it's a penalty, and just able to put a block on this ball. Goes to ground. That's excellent defending from Leo Ostigar.
Anguissa. Only just about keeping it. Osimhen letting it run, and it hit. Traversed the touchline. Away for a throw. Napoli have not quite found that impetus coming out of the halftime locker room. Launched on there by Augusto. And Rachmani feeling like he was caught towards the neck area there by Lautaro Martinez, signaling towards the referee that there was an elbow out. Mazzari watching on. One of his jobs was to come in and snap one of home defeats. 3 straight matches without a win at home for Napoli, as Di Marco now the latest to go over. With Anguissa involved. And in Serie this season, Napoli have lost 3 of their 6 home matches coming in. drawn a fourth and only won 2. Flicked in behind for Di Lorenzo. Di Marco just shepherding it out of play. And again staying down. He knows the job of time wasting could be on here. Simone Inzaghi, such an expressive figure in the technical area. We'll be dreaming of Scudetto glory for this Inter side. Also a win of the group in the Champions League. Will be determined on the final day against Real Sociedad. Di Marco, so involved in these last few minutes. Shouts for hands, but we play on. Acerbi winning it off of Osimhen. And Thuram laying it off. And Thuram, in doing so, was fouled.
So, Zielinski and Lindstrom, 2 subs from Mazzari. Zielinski, one of the usual midfield 3. And then Lindstrom, who's a winger, came over from Bundesliga, but has been in and out of the lineup. It's hard when the front 3 are pretty settled. The form that Politano's been in. Obviously, Kvaratskhelia is not going to be taken out of the lineup, nor is Victor Osimhen. So it's difficult for a player like Lindstrom to find that consistent playing time. Can play behind the striker as well, Lindstrom.
In the midst of that, Anguissa picking up a yellow card. Lofted in by Çalhanoğlu. Dumfries measuring the header, and he goes for it. Shouts for a foul there in his attempt to do so, and it is indeed given as a free kick as Ostigar went down. See the way he was timing his leap as Elmas is one of the players who will come off. Lobotka as well. For the introductions of Peter Zielinski and Jesper Lindstrom. He's directing out what the shape is. The oncoming Dane. Osimhen having 2 goes at headers there, but unable to control. As we approach the final corner of an hour, Inter trying to see out yet another impressive victory. More comings together. Dumfries now has stayed down. And the Napoli supporters waving on their side. No need to slow it down. Lindstrom with Di Lorenzo. Lifted in behind as the captain has come well forward from right back. Di Lorenzo pinned by the corner flag and poked away for the throw. Dumfries is uncomfortable. It stayed down the other end of the pitch. And again, it's like studs in there was Rahmani. Takes a yellow card on that challenge on Thuram.
And then seemed to just leave the boot there. All 200 pounds of Amir Rahmani. The studs on the back of Marcus Thuram. Been bruised and battered today, hasn't he, Denzel Dumfries? Had a hard fall earlier where he landed on his backside and stayed down for a minute.
Everyone imagines Juan Cuadrado will come in for him. He's been the replacement at right wing back. And Davide Fratesi, who scored in the Champions League in midweek, will also enter. Mkhitaryan and Dumfries, the players to make way.
Quality depth in the midfield. Davide Fratesi, one of the big summer signings from Sassuolo. Box to box, energetic. Also a starter in the Italian national team in some of the recent games. Played the all-decisive game against Ukraine, which saw Italy go to the Euros in a group of death, as we later found out. Spain, Croatia, and Albania. Just realized that Italy haven't beat Croatia since the 1940s, so that should go well.
How are you already dreading the summer's Euros? We're 6 months away, Matteo.
I'm nervously excited, okay? Because what happened in the last Euros, Chris? And I don't think a lot of people were expecting Italy to win them.
And a late challenge coming in here. Kvaratskhelia has gone down, and Darmian has his name taken. After a fairly clean opening hour, the yellow cards are starting to be handing out. Rachmani, one of those players who picked up a recent yellow. Long up towards Osimhen. And nodded down calmly there by Juan Cuadrado, who's at the center of the piece. Last time out in Serie A against Juventus. He came on against his former team and was booed every time he touched it. Slightly more tame treatment coming his way here tonight in Naples. Inter totally fine with the game being played at this pace. And with this level of control, Napoli will have to seize some kind of initiative here to turn this game round. As it stands, Roma would go above them on just the one goal of goal difference after their late winner today against 10-man Sassuolo. Lindstrom. Zambo Anguissa. Challenge coming in from Cuadrado. It's a corner. Kvaratskhelia to send in the header towards goal. Osimhen, it's an
save! Oh my goodness!
The offside flag came up.
Oh, I don't know if Summer knew too much about that. It was from point-blank range, but he's in the right place. It's that initial header on. Furthest man back was Fratesi for Inter. Osimhen might have been just a step beyond him as well.
Nice step there from Ostigard and left there for Asbalodi. And Kvaratskhelia to get him behind. Kvaratskhelia now getting turned, and again a strike taking deflection, and Darmian only just held up under the weight of the pressure there from Kvaratskhelia.
Good job from Darmian, preventing Kvara from going on his right foot. That cut inside, Kvara was trying to make that angle a bit better for him, but he kept him to the outside, kept that angle narrow.
More shouts for handball there coming against Augusto. Anguissa pokes away for the throw. Crowd wasn't pleased. Inter continuing their remarkable run as it stands. Have lost just the one game all season. At the moment, without three of their players that often feature in their back three, Pavard and Bastoni, injured before this one. De Vrij during it. It's away from Acerbi for a throw. The ball boys a little overeager there, throwing two onto the pitch. At that moment for Kvaratskhelia. Be big, Darmian. Had a little bit of help. Mehmet lost his footing there. Di Marco away from pressure. Won back by the Azzurri. There's still something on in this game. They'll want to get a goal quickly. They are to make this a grandstand finale. Kvaratskhelia turning and poked away from Cuadrado. Thuram now racing into space. Nobody really with him though, but he still carries on. Well done there, Barella. And Çalhanoğlu eventually joining the attack.
How smart there from Thuram. He tracks all the way back to help Cuadrado with Cavada. Wins the ball back and then slows it down. Sees that there's no clear option in the final third, and why give it away? 7 minutes left. Just keep possession, keep taking some seconds off the clock. Such a high IQ play for Marcus Thuram all around.
And the last double change being readied by Inzaghi. Jan Bisek will enter. Young player is featured in that defense, and might more still with all the injuries. Marko Arnautovic, as it's switched there by Barella for Guada. Indoors, Marcus Thuram! And there is the third and seemingly decisive goal in this match. Marcus Thuram has done it again. 5 goals on the campaign, and Inter are going to walk away from the Maradona with a 3-0 victory.
When these low crosses have come in, Napoli's defense has simply not been able to clear their lines. It's a switch originating from Barella. Look at all the time and space for Cuadrado just to settle it, measures his run. And that run being made just behind Alcigar. Natan had to shift over to try to put a body on Cuadrado, and Alcigar's caught in a bit of a no man's land there. He has 2 players on either side. He's not quite sure which one to mark. And in the end, no one picks up Marcus Thuram, who's on the back shoulder of Alcigar. Great run. The pass from Cuadrado was pinpoint. And it's been ruthlessly efficient from Inter in the final third. We go back top of the league. And a convincing display in the final third here at Maradona Stadium. How about the work rate from Thuram? We saw every single bit of his game, tracking all the way back to help his fullback with Cavada. The direct runs, the movement, the selflessness, and then finally gets the cherry on top with his 5th goal of the season in Serie. And he scores the heavy goals, Chris. He gol pesante. He scored a wonderful goal against Milan in the derby. And then here against Napoli. He's coming up big in the most important moments.
And Alessio Zerbin also entering in for Natan. Perhaps a bit surprised to be taken off there. Arnautovic coming in, along with Bisek for Inter, just to see out the final minutes.
If there is any positivity from the Napoli side, is that at least Bean didn't come in for Kvaratskhelia, which is the move we saw when Rudy Garcia was in charge. Didn't go down well.
Zerbin, who had to play a lot of lower league football in order to earn his senior place at Napoli. Went on 4 different loan spells throughout the Italian pyramid. Di Lorenzo. Just as the positivity was starting to come to the fore, this Napoli side beating Atalanta last time out, a valiant effort in the Champions League. This is a genuine setback. And now a trip to Juventus awaits. Kvaratskhelia. So interchange there comes for Raspadori, who will have a hit. And Sommer well behind him.
And look, for Mazzarri in Napoli, there's no shame in losing to Inter, who have looked, in my mind, like the best side in Serie A in terms of overall quality. This is not that far away from the team that was a few bad breaks away from beating Manchester City in the Champions League final. Think of what that did for Inter's mentality, knowing they could go toe-to-toe with the best team in Europe.
That is something that Beppe Marotta did note in the week. So you notice that Inter, after that defeat, improved a lot in their self-esteem.
Yeah, no kidding.
The team now approached the match with the desire to win, something they didn't have before. And now Lindstrom cutting inside well. Lindstrom, still Lindstrom!
It's great play. Nice little chop inside from Lindstrom, the explosion of pace to create an angle for himself, and he goes right by Acerbi. It's an interesting player, Lindstrom. You know, from all the footage I saw of him, here's the goal from just before. What is that? Just a slight bit of the elbow. That's much more, actually. What a ball that was from Cuadrado. The run from Thuram, perfect.
Juan Cuadrado has come on and made an impact, and is meant to be a regular contributor. Has dealt with injury in this early season. Down that right, him and Dumfries. Then on the left, Di Marco and Augusto. Some combination of wing backs. This Arnautovic being involved there with Zerbin. Pulled away there by Anguissa. Arnautovic slow to get up, but is Lorenzo Insigne, and now Toronto FC winger.
How's he done with Toronto, Chris? Update for the Napoli fans.
It has not been brilliant for Insigne and Bernardeschi at Toronto FC. Finished rock bottom of the league, as they jeeringly call it in MLS, the wooden spoon for finishing with the worst record. It's cutting inside Di Lorenzo and poked away by Augusto.
I'd rather have a wooden spoon than relegation, so at least there's that.
Well, that is the treat for Toronto, as they still get to go again next year. Questions about if those two will return with Toronto. Obviously such a hero in these parts. Raspadori, flick beyond and on for Osimhen. Is there a consolation goal on here for Giacomo Raspadori?
Wow,
fantastic
good defending
challenge
here. This is Carlos Augusto playing out of position, who just stepped in front of Osimhen. They were making it so difficult for the Nigerian striker to get a real clean look at goal. Look at some of the higher ups, Beppe Marotta, El Pupi Zanetti, longtime Inter legend.
It is remarkable. For a lot of teams, missing 3 of your essential defenders would be a real impediment, but even a player playing slightly out of position like Augusto has handled one of the best center forwards in world football tonight.
It feels very much like a system that's working for Inter, right? Because individually, Cerbi, I'm not sure a lot of people expected him to hit these kinds of heights in the twilight of his career at Inter. When he came in, it was just supposed to be a depth move, but he's filled in admirably, I think. And Darmian as well, career-long fullback, now playing at this level as a center back. A lot of credit to Inzaghi and his staff for hammering down the identity of this team defensively.
Kvaratskhelia trying to threaten again with the cross, but handled well by Sommer, who look on their way to yet another clean sheet.
And then behind them, once you do get by the defense, you have Jan Sommer throwing his body around like a rag doll, making some improbable saves.
And there is the full-time whistle. Domination for Internazionale, who go back top of the pile with a 3-0 win away at Napoli. Çalhanoğlu fired in the first, Barella the second. A lovely move, finished off by Thuram for the third, and it finishes Napoli 0, Inter 3.
What a massive result this is to come to Maradona and get a 3-0 victory. Inter looked so solid defensively. They tried to negate the danger of Kvara and Osimhen, Napoli's 2 best players in the front line. They were so smooth in the attack. When they created a chance, they finished it off. Hakan Çalhanoğlu with that spectacular rocket from outside the box. The shifty movement of Nicolo Barella down the middle to get the second. And then the cross from Cuadrado to find the brilliant Marcus Thuram, who was making a run down the middle for the third. And Inter go top. They've looked like the best side in Serie A, and the standings reflect just that.
And continuing to burnish their Scudetto credentials as the Inter side, after a remarkable comeback in the Champions League in midweek, dominating Napoli away from home at the Maradona. They beat them by 3-0. A comprehensive performance. Let's go back now to the studio and Poppy Miller.
Chris, Matteo, boys, thank you so much. So Napoli's poor home form continues, but another complete performance from Inter, and one Grella that puts them back to the top of the Serie A table.
Back to the top of the Serie A table. They are just on fire. I mean, you can't say a bad thing about them. The way they dissected this game, sort of take on the pressure, take on what Napoli gave them. Napoli played fantastic first half and say, hey, we'll hang around. 3-0. When Spalletti left, this team lost its mojo, lost its spirit, and something is seriously wrong in Naples. They would never lose. They didn't lose since January 6th last year. It took them that long to lose at home. They've already got 4 losses on the year at home, which is crazy. I think, Poppy, you said 1 win at home. I mean, that is not good enough for the last year's champion.
Listen, mature performance by Inter. I was very impressed. I'm not going to write them off like that, Mike. Not yet. It's still, it's still early. Let Mazzarri do his work, but you're right. They're not the same as last year.
You think they can win the Scudetto?
They're not going to win Scudetto. No, definitely not the Scudetto race. Sorry about that. Nope.
You still like Juventus, though, don't you? And obviously Inter today show yet again that they're just a class above anyone that they've come up in contention with. Why has it been so poor for Napoli at home, do you think? Because last year we sung their praises saying how amazing they were at home, and where would they be this year in the table if they were to play all of their matches at home?
Coming into this game, they were like 16th is what I had at home, and away they were in first place.
Crazy.
Which is crazy, and we had the stat last year with Atalanta, right? And they even asked Gasperini, how's it possible that you're so bad at home? It should be the complete opposite. And he couldn't even figure it out. So it's not an easy one. It's not a quick fix of, yeah, this is what it is. It can't be the fans, because we've seen the